brief on the Zoom meeting with the club licensing board. It happened yesterday. Yes, the clubs met with the club licensing board, and there's a brief key point of what happened after the Zoom meeting or during the Zoom meeting yesterday. Ghana football is coming back, and the club licensing board met some football people, Division 1 club owners and representatives. And clubs need to submit certificate of incorporation. Documents are stated in Article 13, subsection 2 and 81, subsection 1. Updated extract from Registrar General's Department containing composition of boards, that is the board of directors, shareholders or shareholding structure of the club, all current information only. That is what they are requiring. Coaches who do not meet the certification criteria will not be allowed to represent the clubs. So head coach, minimum of CAF license A. Assistant coach, minimum of CAF license B. Goalkeepers trainer, minimum of CAF license B. So that is it for the Ghana League, and staff should have letter of appointment and contract. This is very good. Medical team should be professionals only, doctors and then physiotherapists. An audited account of 2018 and 2019 football season should also be presented. And then we are looking at lists. The budget for 2020 and 2021 also approved by the board. So this is what clubs should submit. List and amount owed players and staff by the club. Only overdue debt is what they want to also have, the club licensing board. All Division 1 league clubs should have a youth development team or plan to show their commitment to youth development. It's also one of the requirements if you must be licensed to play in the Division 1 league. Timelines. Deadline for submission of venues, 28 September 2020. Deadline for submission of documents, 5th October 2020. Inspection of venues from the 6th to the 23rd of October 2020. Club licensing board decision, also from the 6th to the 23rd of October. Only 3 days to appeal the decision if your license is denied. The timelines may change depending on the start of the Division 1 league. Division 1 league clubs to pay a club licensing filing fee of 250 Ghana cedis. So this is key summaries from what happened yesterday when the Division 1 league clubs met with a club licensing board. And I believe that they would go strictly by this. And I know that clubs here in the region all had reps during this Zoom meeting. And these are the points that we have also intercepted. Kesmi Sports, we have intercepted, and it is going to be a criteria that we would be looking at. So all Division 1 league clubs, your head coach, minimum of CAF license A, assistant, minimum of CAF license B, goalkeepers trainer, minimum of CAF license B. And the big one is that clubs need to submit certificate of incorporation and documents as stated in Article 13, subsection 2 and 81, subsection 1. And updated extract from the Registrar General's Department is also what the club licensing board would be looking at. So this is what we have intercepted. And it also boils down to the fact that politicians wanted to pay salaries of players. And in Ghana, clubs are supposed to be registered under the Registrar General's Department as companies limited by guarantee or so, meaning they are private institutions. So you can't pay as government, you can't pay salaries of workers of private institutions. Then it means that Kesmi FM can also go to government and tell government that we can't pay staff, so come and then pay our staff for us. It doesn't work that way. Government must create the necessary conducive environment for these private companies. I'm talking about the clubs because that is how they have been registered. The necessary environment, the conducive environment for them to generate their own money. Anything that will come from government should not be salaries. It should be support. It should be support. That is why there should have been broader consultation. If you are support, I always use this example. If you say you are supporting women's football, good, juvenile football, you can even promise to build a national juvenile academy, 5-star national juvenile academy, and let the country have a 10 to 15-year plan. That's in the next 10, 15 years. Ghana should reach the last four of the World Cup. And this is where we are starting. We are creating a national football academy for the nation. If you vote us into power, you get a land, you get it. If you go to China, if you go to US, Germany, Spain, we can go and learn from them how the academy system works. How beautiful will it be for Ghana, for a government to promise Ghana football a national academy? Not just an ordinary one, not just an ordinary football academy, a 5-star national football academy. These kids will train. These kids will be educated. They will go to school within the academy. Let's camp them. We have our under 12, under 10, under 13, under 15, and if possible, under 17. Camp them. Let us instill the values of Ghana football into them. For Ghana, I always say that we are known to be the Keche style of country when it comes to football. We have thrown all of that away. Because the Serbians came in with their one-goal projects, with their tactical projects and all of that, and they have really diluted our Keche. In Ghana, gone were the days when the number 10, number 8 in the national team, everybody would want to go and watch because of Keche skills. That is what we are known for. If we get a national academy, a national football academy, build it, hand it over to the Ghana Football Association, and let the Ministry of Youth and Sport supervise. Let us come out with criteria to be admitted into the National Football Academy. And let's see, because Ghana, gone were the days when our coaches were being invited by academies and national teams in Brazil to go there and teach or have seminars for their juvenile coaches, because under 17, Ghana were flying high. We were flying high. Coach Ike, Afrani, and Co, they all traveled to Brazil to have seminars and train Brazilian coaches when it comes to juvenile football. What have you done? Nothing much. So if you are coming to promise Premier League players, salaries, fantastic promise, but misplaced. We can do better. I'm talking as a football person. I'm not talking as a politician, or I'm not talking as someone who belongs to party A or party B. For the good of the game is what we are looking at. For the good of the game. And okay, we are here. You see, in this country, hypocrisy will definitely kill us. Hypocrisy. I know people who behind closed doors will call me and say that government, call it juvenile football, government is not supporting women's football because they have juvenile clubs. I'm talking about friends here in Tamale. They have juvenile clubs. Complaining. Now, let me just be brutally frank. Now, the NDC promised to pay salaries, if voted into power, to pay salaries of Premier League players. And because these my friends who have juvenile clubs and affiliated to juvenile clubs who have been complaining to me because they are NDC supporters, they fear to come out. I'm not saying, for me personally, I have not said that the promise is bad. The promise is perfect. I'm saying is that they should channel that money. They shouldn't give it to Premier League clubs. They should give it to women's football or invest in juvenile football. That is all I'm saying. It is a fantastic promise. And these, my friends, because they are NDC people, they don't want to talk as football people. We all vote. We all vote. I vote. I vote. Because they are NDC people, they don't want to talk about it. They are quiet on it. But within them, they know that it won't help them because it will kill juvenile football, which they have juvenile clubs and they are affiliated to juvenile clubs. Hypocrisy. So if this happens and Premier League players start receiving salaries, will you come and cry? When you come here, I'll sack you. We will all be in it. You can tell your party that, look, this promise is perfect, but we beg to differ. We have other pressing issues. Premier League players, grown-ups, it's like you having kids in the house. You have a last born, and you are still giving chop money to your firstborn. You have you have children in the house. You have a last born. You have a last born, and you are still giving chop money, or you want to give chop money, or you are still giving chop money to the firstborn who has a job that will go to work and come and take your salary from me, your parents. It doesn't really make sense. When the last born is there, who professionally is not working. Anyway, sometimes we need to just throw our party colors aside, especially when we are talking football. For me, today they will say KOD is MPP, tomorrow KOD is NDC. I remember when the Caladan Park, when we heard it was going to be used for water projects, I was here talking about it, bashing government because the Caladan Park is a traditional park that we shouldn't let that name die. It can still be renovated. It can still be developed to help our children. I started saying this and they said I was NDC. Now NDC has promised to pay salaries of their firstborns, that is Premier League players, and leave their lastborn juvenile football. And I'm talking about it. That they say I am MPP. I love it that way. And I'm happy that these, my friends, are not saying that I want to throw away a good policy. They only say, we are MPP. That is it. If you had said, oh, we are MPP, then this is bringing out a good thing. And for that matter, you want to throw it away. Fine. If you had said that, I would have been a bit worried. But if my only accusation is that you are MPP, no problem. Because I know tomorrow, if MPP also does something that will not help Ghana football or Ghana sports, I'll talk about it. And when I talk about it, they will say I am NDC. So that is it. These clubs are supposed to be registered under the Registrar General's department as companies limited by guarantee. Pay them salaries. Then a lot of companies will come to you to pay their salaries for them. Anyway, for me, once I know I am being objective, once I know in my heart I want the good of the sports that I love, and for that matter, I am a sports journalist, I don't have a problem. A lot of people on platforms that we all belong to. We know my D Omon Kasa. So my NDC for if they go and say it to be like they are demeaning their parties. But there's a way you can put it. There's a way you can put it. For me, I'm not saying that it's a bogus promise. It is a fantastic promise. At least to have that attention for football is fantastic. But we plead with you that those that you want to pay, they don't need, even if they need that money, it's not pressing. Let's use it for something, for lack of a better word, better in football. If you pay Premier League players, for how long? Is it permanent? A private company and you want to pay their workers' salaries for them? Let's think about it. If it is support, the women players that are taking the YEA allowances, it is just for a period of time. It is support. It is support for a period of time. Anyway, to some other news here, Kesmi Sports can report and confirm, or we can report if